What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here, bringing you another Two Tree Guy podcast. We're in Arbor Fest in Asheville, North Carolina. Been an absolutely amazing show. We've been having podcasts, talking to individuals, talking about products, equipment throughout this whole week. So it's been a really, really great time, and I've gathered a lot of cool information and some stories that you guys are going to hear throughout the next upcoming weeks here. But before we get started, if this is the first time you ever listen to a show like this, we have many different episodes that we play on 2TG. And one is Gear Talk, and that's what you're going to be hearing today. The Gear Talk that you're going to be hearing today, we're going to be going over, Haix boots and hearing all about the company, the boots, why they were built, how they were built, the backstory of that. And we have other different products and manufacturers on here where we discuss tools. We also have our full-length episodes. So if you are in California and you want to come in the studio and do a full episode with us, we'd love to have you guys come by and do that. Just shoot us a message and we'll get you in. Then we also have our mini episodes where we discuss short little topics on people's story, how they got in the industry, mentors they've had, and also wisdom that they can share. Then we also talk about different products, learning, just short 10 to 20 minute episodes. And then lastly, we have our safety talk. And our safety talk every single week is we take incidents that happen in the industry and we talk about those incidents. How can we create better controls? What could the individual have done better and safer to mitigate any hazards or anything that may happen to those people in those situations there. So, and before we get started too, you got to pay the fee. If you like what you hear today, if you learn something, share it with somebody that needs to learn about it. But we have Tracy from Haix. What's up? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you today, Phil?
Good, really good. This is your second time on the show.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks for having me back. It's great to be back in Asheville. Great to be with Academy Chain, the Two Tree Guys podcast. Yeah, sorry, I got a little bit tongue twisted. It's been a long week, but I'm really glad to be back. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And I know last time you were on the show, we discussed your story. And if you guys haven't heard her story, listen to it. It's on there. It's awesome. And you get the kind of the backstory of you coming into Haix and where you are today within the company and where the company's going.
Yes.
We got to hear some cool things. But today, we're just talking about your boots, your footwear for that. And
Absolutely.
I've got to experience it. I've got to use them. My team's got to use them. Thank you very much for supporting us and everything. But let's dive in and let's start talking about the products that you have and you offer.
Absolutely.
It's all yours.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just dive in. I'm just going to talk about a couple of models since we have a short span of time.
Okay.
For us here, especially with at Arborfest, we have a lot of tree climbing, obviously, going on. That's what we do here. So I want to just briefly touch on two models that we offer that I think bring a lot to the table. Of course, for those of you that maybe don't know, we're a German manufacturer, been around since the 1940s. We make our own products, so everything is of the utmost, the quality of the product is so high. You're going to have arch support systems built in. So there's been a lot of thought process that goes into building these boots over the years.
And how long has Haix been around?
Since 1948.
1948. And how did this company even start?
Yeah, well, it was a grandfather's name was Xavier Heimel, started the company, and we used to actually private label boots for other companies. So Haix wasn't its own standalone brand for many years. Most of the people in this industry know who Mendel or Meindl is. We made their boots for the first 20 years they were in business. So we branched out on our own in the 90s, like 1992, went out on more of the fire side of the business for firefighters and developed boots for public safety, and then it just expanded beyond that, to include, police, fire, military, EMS workwear, workwear and forestry and logging. So it's just snowballed. And currently now in my role with Haix, I've been here about 13 and a half years. I've done a few things in my time at Haix, but currently I'm the forestry brand ambassador for all of North America. So instead of focusing on the police and fire, which is my original background, I'm devoting all of my time to this, and it's just been great. Yeah, it's been great though. It's so much fun. I've been working in it unofficially for about the last 7 years, but really focusing the last about 20 months or so
on it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What do we got here?
So what I got, 2 boots I wanted to talk to you guys about. In the industry, we have what's called a Class 1 and Class 2 cut protection. Now, a lot of times this really applies a lot to the logging industry. I know we have more like tree guys here.
Yeah.
They like to be called tree guys, arborists. But then we also meet an OSHA standard for the logging industry. So this boot is able to be used both in arbor care and logging. The first one I'd like to talk about, we have a Class 1. And what does it mean to have a Class 1 cut protection? So if you're using a chainsaw, it is tested to 20 meters per second when the chainsaw drops. So that makes it a Class 1, along with being water resistant or waterproof with a safety toe. What makes something a Class 2 is going to require it to do 24 meters per second with a waterproof or at least a water resistant membrane with the safety toe. Whereas like the tree care industries like Z133, safety toe, whatever. But they're all kind of coming together actually. As I've noticed that we morph more into safety as we keep going along through the years. For example, the guys like here with the, we make one called the XR200. It's a Class 1 cut protection. It's a good multi-purpose boot, about 7 inches tall, brown, safety toe. It's going to be a composite toe. You're going to have a puncture plate across the entire bottom of the shoe. The treads can be...
And that's just for the Class 1 or the Class 2 also?
Yeah, that's going to be the Class 1 with the comp toe. You're going to have when you go up to the Class 2, you have a steel toe.
Gotcha. And what's the benefits of steel and composite?
Absolutely.
And the flaws to both of them?
Okay, good question for that. We get that every day, obviously. The Class 1 cut protection is more for light tree work, light arborist work. It's going to have a level of Kevlar type of material down the front or a cut-resistant material with a composite toe. But when you're talking about stepping up into something where you're doing some really heavy, cutting trees, if you're hand felling, de-limbing, bucking, whatever, when you're heavily using a chainsaw all day long, the steel toe with the Class 2 has a double level of cut protection as well. So it just ups the ante a little bit. Like I would suggest maybe this boot for maybe light arborist work, whereas this one maybe your log or your timbers are out hand cutting all day.
Got it.
But there's also something cool about both is that they're designed to climb. So with our boots, the way we, first of all of our boots have an orthopedic fit, so they're already going to have a nice arch support system, which will help people like with plantar fasciitis.
And what is most boots don't have that?
There's a lot of boots out there that don't have a proper arch support. But, we work with a team of, we work with professionals in the industry worldwide, whether it be an orthopedic footwear doctors, anybody in that type of realm, to make sure that we do it in the proper way, to make sure they're anatomically correct, because what that does is it reduces leg, knee, and back, and the fatigues, injuries, and it keeps people safe. It helps to distribute like weight distribution within the boot, so everybody keeps a nice solid footing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Now let's talk about, and these are made where?
In Germany. So us being a German manufacturer, we do everything in Germany. So for example, although we do have a German facility, we also have one in Croatia.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just opened another one in Europe as well.
Okay.
So we have different manufacturing facilities. So something interesting, we go through probably about 800 bull hides a day. So roughly through there, we have the capacity up to 10,000 pair of boots per day.
You go through 800 bull hides a day.
Roughly, yeah.
Wow.
We have that capacity.
Now go into the bull hide stuff, because that was what was very interesting
Yeah.
to me before, with the bull hides and why that is important to a boot.
Yeah.
Because everybody would think, leather,
Right.
but bulls and heifers, right? Right. Okay.
Cows, heifers, bulls, yeah.
Yeah. So talk about that.
It's really a cool thing, and it's always a fun thing for me to talk about. So when people, you say, oh, I've got a leather couch, I got a leather wallet, whatever, there's so much to that. So Haix is the only company in the world that uses bull hide on footwear.
And
And
why
there's
is
a
that?
reason,
Well,
yeah.
if you're going through 800, let me just do the math right here on this, okay? We have 800 bulls times 365. That's 292,000 bulls a year.
Yeah, that would probably be about
Oh
right.
my God!
Mine is shut down for for like a
gosh,
3
but-
weeks for
I mean, bulls. I mean, is there that many? That's a lot of bulls. Are they retired bulls? I mean, what kind of bulls are they?
Actually, okay, there is an answer to that.
Okay.
So we only use bull hide leather from Europe. Like, we won't take bull hide leather from like a third world country or anywhere like that, because they get like larvae that burrows down into the skin, and it causes weak spots in the leather. So, and we're such a high quality company that
Yeah.
it has to be, we can't have scratches, scars, or anything in the leather that we use. It's all like top rated first run.
So 300,000 bulls in Europe.
And that's no bull.
That's no bullshit. That's no bullshit right there.
I was going to say that. I was going to let you, when we say scheisse.
Shiza. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going in
So-
about the bull leather.
So with the bull leather is super important, because for our guys and gals in this industry, you need something that's nice and rugged. You're up against bark on trees. I've got firefighters running into fires. You need the toughest product out there. Now, some people in the beginning, maybe they try on our boot, it feels a little stiff to them, but there's a reason behind that. It's going to add to the longevity of it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, with females, with it, they can get pregnant. So the skin expands and contracts. So it leaves it too supple and too soft and a little bit weak.
Mm-hmm.
We need something that's strong and rugged, like our guys climbing these trees all day,
Cool. I like it. So
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of you have Vibram soles. Is that
Yes.
on all the boots?
No, it's on a couple of different models that we have. This Class 2 cut protection is the one with the most, with the steel toe and whatnot. This particular one, we use the Vibram sole. It's actually a special blend of rubber, because a lot of people out there, Vibram, they think, oh, my boot's a Vibram. No, that's actually an Italian company. Vibram is an Italian company that makes soles for shoes of all industries across every line. We chose this particular one for the, so I know you guys out there listening, you can't really see it, but if you think of tires, winter tires and summer tires, the softer the rubber is, the better it grips. And so when you're on bark, tree limbs, things like that, it gives you a better grip. So that's why we chose this particular one with the ratio of the softer rubber content.
Okay. And what makes Vibram such a good company?
I mean, they've been around forever. Vibram's been around a very long time. A lot of people recognize it as a brand. Almost if someone says, "Can I have a Kleenex, please?"
Yeah.
it's really a tissue. So they kind of stand alone. But yeah, they make all types of soles. But then also, what's interesting is that we manufacture our own.
Okay. Is
Which
that
you'll
this
see,
one for the
yeah.
Class 1?
So the
Okay.
Class 1 boot, just because of the way it's designed, because what you have to understand that boots are not just made on one pattern. They are lasted, and you can look it up, LAST, how boots are lasted for different types of work and different types of foot shapes and what it needs to be for. So on this one, we use our own tread pattern. We have our own treads, so these can actually be refurbished in the field.
How the heck is someone designing a tread pattern? I mean, how do they do that? It's just on a computer and freaking goes,
I'm
"This is
sure it
gonna be
has
the
a lot to
pattern?"
do like with you're working with it's not the right word, like a shoe architect or
Yeah,
something.
how
Yeah.
does he know that those treads and that shape and those grooves are going to be the best for that boot?
Well, those all stand for something too, and a lot of things that people don't realize is like some of the lines, the way they're structured. So when you step down, it pushes water out so you don't hydroplane. So this is great for workwear.
Say that again.
So, like when a car hydroplanes, the reason we have these ridges in the bottom in certain specific spots is the pressure when you step down, it pushes water out. It keeps you from hydroplaning.
Oh, okay.
So this is neat little things like that,
And then what about with the rib up the top of the toe and at the heel?
Yes.
I mean, some of those.
So that has to do with the traction. So when a person is walking, they step, if you maybe don't realize this, but you step kind of heel first over and then off the toe.
Yeah.
So this rolls with the natural gait of a step.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Now, what about this green triangle?
Okay, the green triangle is CSA. That is Canadian standard. So all of our boots in this logging and arborist type of boot we have must also not only meets the European standard, but it meets the CSA standard. So anytime you see a green triangle on any of your workwear, it doesn't matter if it's ours or any other brand, you know that it's certified to the Canadian market. And quite frankly, the Canadian market stuff is a little bit higher.
Really?
You have to pass a higher, So if you've got a boot with that triangle, it's good.
So it's a little tag, green triangle that says
CSA.
Certified CSA on it.
Yep.
Or UL. What's UL?
So UL Laboratories, you'll buy all kinds of products in your household or anything. UL Labs is where we are required as a manufacturer, and every manufacturer has this requirement. We do third-party testing. Anything that has any type of certification that's a legal certification, it has to be tested third-party. So say you're like, Tracy, I need a boot designed for 20,000 guys that are climbing for this particular company. Well, if it needs to meet certain standards, not only do I have to go under R&D a year or two working on this, cut new molds for all the boots, then we have to send it off to like a UL lab, for example, a third-party testing entity with a bunch of boots. They have to trash them, so we have to give them all this stuff. We have to pay, and then we get a certification. We're required to put the labels in a certain way to be in compliance with the law.
Oh, inside the boot.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. People don't realize what goes into, for us to make such a high-level boot for so much protection. There's really a lot. It's so much in the details.
Now, what about on the boot where the triangle is the little yellow horseshoe or whatever that is?
So that's what people call it an omega tag.
Okay.
So what's really cool about our arborist boots as well, they are EH rated for electrical hazard. So while we know there's a lot of down power lines in a lot of regions, especially, it could be anywhere. Every place has these power lines that come down, even in urban areas like older cities.
There was a power line that came down at Arborfest.
Right. That made me think of that.
Shit.
We had it, right? It hit the building yesterday, and the lights went out.
Yeah, and they're still out.
Yeah, right. They're out today.
Out.
So
we're running off a generator right now outside.
Guys.
So guys, if the quality's not great or it looks weird or where the heck are you with no lights on, it's because we're making shit happen right
That's
here.
right.
That's no bullshit.
It's no bullshit. And we're really just doing it old school, no lights. This is how our forefathers did. We need where's the candles?
I know. We
That's
almost
what
got
we
one.
need,
We
right?
almost got one.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about I don't know, what do you call these?
This is where the so on our Protector Ultras, which is our Class 2 cut protection boots, these have they have these like ball bearings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where all the laces go through.
That's correct. So this is just an added feature. It's like buying a car, good, better, best. You get all the bells and whistles. That's what you get with this. So what that does is it makes it very easy when you're pulling on the laces, a real nice, easy transition. It just makes it quick, easy, and it will extend the life of the laces.
So you got 6 ball bearings that are right here. That's running through the shoelaces on the side.
Correct.
And that smoother pull amongst all of them instead of kind of the rough edges that you're running off of. And then let's talk about this. What do you call those? What are they, clips or?
Yeah, so we call that a lock-off lacing system.
Lock-off lacing system, okay.
So what our customers love about that, it seems like a really small feature, but what's fantastic is once you put the boot on, you're able to adjust the bottom part where you want it. You lock this off. and then the taut, it stays completely taut where you have it right here. And then once you start to lace the top, if you have a wide leg, if you have like a little bird leg,
Yeah.
I mean, you can custom
No,
adjust this.
This helps a lot. Yeah, when I put my boots on here,
Yeah.
because I have a pair of guys. And what's this one called? I don't know what it's
Oh,
called.
that's called the Protector Ultra Signal Red.
Okay, Protective Ultra that I have, and this is a nice feature on this because I pull and I can with the other hand lock it, and once it's locked, I know my boot's tight, and then I finish off. What do they call these little hooks?
That's an open eyelet.
Open eyelet,
Yeah.
when I'm tightening and stuff like that. So it makes it easy, and once I do it once, I'm good for the whole day.
Yeah.
I'm not usually retying these boots, which is nice in the middle of the day. Let's talk about the back part of it. What's this little soft little
that little soft thing
neoprene.
there? Yeah, exactly. So at the back of the boot, as our tree guys and gals, there's all the time there's wood chippings, there's shavings, there's dirt, all kinds of debris. So we have designed in this newer upgraded model. It's a piece of like this neoprene material, just as Philip said, and then what it does is it's kind of collapses around the back of the calf, so it keeps things from going down the back of the boot, basically.
Just tight.
Yeah,
Keep
it's
it-
just tight.
Yeah.
Just keeps crap out.
But it's flexible too, so it's not
Yes.
cutting your circulation off. And then the Gore-Tex. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
is this just this top part Gore-Tex?
No, the entire boot is.
The entire boot.
So, interesting thing about Haix, like we're the biggest user of gore and footwear in all of Europe.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's a big thing for us, and
Talk to me about Gore-Tex. Talk what Gore-Tex is.
So
to the
gore is,
listeners.
So some of our listeners may know it from hunting and outdoor gear and things of that nature. So it is a waterproof membrane, and it's really cool because I actually went to Gore about 20 years ago and spent time with them at their factory. So what makes them unique than other waterproof membranes is that it is in such a way, this material is, that it's large enough to allow like sweat molecules to escape, and water molecules are larger than the sweat, so it doesn't go through it. So it allows for a breathability, yet keeping it waterproof. It's amazing. Otherwise, you're wearing a Ziploc baggie basically around your foot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a difference. We've all had those slickers, those jackets, like a rain jacket, and as soon as you put it on, it's like wearing it. There's no breathability.
Yep.
So that has a nice breathable system, and then you couple that with all of our climate system here with all the holes, and as you walk and move, it pulls that moisture away from the foot and keeps fresh air like rotating, and it keeps the water out.
Got it. Now, back part, you got rubber on the toe and on the back part.
Yeah, so there's a rubber rand across the toe box and at the heel. Of course, that's you guys. Toes are used on everything, so this just extends the life of the product. The boots, it just saves the leather, even though it's a nice rugged hide. It's still this gives an extra layer of protection on each side.
Now, do they make these in hunting boots?
We do make, we make actually in the U.S. division, we do have a boot that we sold a lot of here, actually. It's called the Scout 2.0, and it is a hell of a hiking boot, and I own a pair myself.
Yeah.
And it's just a waterproof, like I would say 6.5, 7 inch tall boot. Fantastic for hiking.
One of my guys has this boot, not the red. I don't know which color they have.
They've got an orange and a green one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think it's the
we
orange
do.
one. He uses that for hunting in the mountains.
Well, it's like a mountaineering boot. I know that's kind of a slang term, but
Yeah.
you can go out in this boot. You can trek in this boot, because just a little bit about the history of hikes. We started in the hiking industry back in the 1940s. So we have an expertise in hiking, which very well translates for arborist work. Mm-hmm. So we have a very keen eye for all of these little nuances that make it just fantastic.
Got it. What else about the boot that you want to share about the company?
Well, high quality made, great customer service, 1 year warranty on the boots. You break one of these laces break, an eyelet pops, it leaks for some reason. We're going to replace or repair it in the first year, no extra charge.
Okay.
So-
and most of the time, they're exchanging their boots in the first year anyways. I mean not exchanging them, but they're getting a new pair.
That's right. And I will tell you, just from what I hear, and this is not just me saying this on the account of Haix, this is my customers' feedback straight to you guys. Guys are getting 1 to 3 years out of our boots, whereas they're maybe getting 6 months, maybe 9 months out of other boots.
And we did the math last time. I ran the math because we were talking about that, and I thought that was interesting. Because these are a little bit more expensive than
they are.
Yeah, a little bit more. But doing the math, if you get 2 years out of your boot, let's just say on average you're 2 years. Sometimes you might get 3 years. You're technically, your boot is, how much are these boots?
Retail's like $400.
So $400. So you're buying a great quality boot that is $200 a year, rather than you buying some other boot that's $300 and you're paying $600. So it actually saves you money in the long run for this. And nobody wants to break in a new boot, and it sucks.
Not
so
at
if you can keep it longer and not break it in, I'm sure it's definitely for the better. But I know I love mine. I do.
Thank you.
It took me a while to love it.
It does. Sometimes it takes anywhere. Some guys are right out of the box. I've got guys cussing me out for a month. It just depends on the person. It depends on.
It's
how
like
it's
Netflix. When somebody's going to watch a show, I'm like, you got to wait 3 episodes before it becomes good. And
exactly.
So on this, the more you wear it after you get through that first month, is way better. Now, I've heard of people putting these in the oven. Have you heard of that before?
Yes.
Does it work? Does it doesn't? I don't know. I've never have.
I will tell you, I don't recommend anybody putting things in the oven.
Just in case you forget.
Yeah. I mean, because we come from the fire industry too. So that's a big no-no.
From Haix, don't put it in the oven. From
Don't
other
put it in the
people,
oven.
they might want you to, but if you forget it and it burns down, you don't want to come back and blame Tracy that she had you put it in the oven.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's, you got to make sure it has a high thermal rating for that, for a fire. And we do make boots for that. We make wildland fire boots.
So how would you suggest everybody to break these boots in the best?
Let me tell you how to break them in. First of all, make sure you're wearing the right socks. That is critical. Nobody ever wants to talk about that. If you're wearing a merino wool, I highly recommend it. It keeps the foot dry in all climates. So it's good for foot health. And it keeps you from getting the blisters like you would on some things, because it doesn't stay as wet. What was that question? I just went off on the whole sock thing.
How do you break it
in? Okay, good socks. Wear them. Just wear them.
Yeah.
Some people want to step in a tub of water, like my military guys. I'll just step in the water and lace them up. It's best not to put water down on the inside of the boots. If they do get wet on the inside, though, pull the insoles out. Let them air dry. You can wash them. Let them air dry, put them back in, replace them. Honestly, just wear your boots. Take a pair of backups if you want to in the first little bit. Just like anything else. Good pair of work boots.
You might start the morning with them and
Yes.
then switch your boots out. And
That's
then
right.
A little bit in the morning, because all day might
It
beat
might be
you up
tough
some.
for some people, yeah. But
Yeah.
I got guys that take the tags off of them here, and they're already wearing them all weekend, all day long. Mm-hmm. All day.
I traveled when I first got them. I wore the shit out of them, and I traveled.
Yeah.
I traveled with them to Colorado and wore them, and it was good. It took me a little bit, Definitely don't jump behind a truck and start driving it, because your ankle doesn't move
it's not
too
gonna
well.
bend.
But everybody loves them. Says they're comfortable. Loves everything about them. So that's cool. Anything else on the boot?
Just to keep in mind, like the rigidity of the boot too is important. I mean, it's. We're all kind of a flip-flop nation nowadays,
Yeah.
And the thing is like when those are fine and good in their spot, but a work boot is a work boot, and it's a very dangerous job at the end of the day, what our guys and gals are doing out there. So this rigidity helps to save their ankles. It gives them support in the trees when they're wearing the spurs or whatever. So just keep in mind those things are safety features there. And I know it seems like a little bit of a hindrance from the hey dudes and the, whatever everybody's wearing nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But, it is a work boot, and it's intended to do so.
Good.
Yep.
Now, where does everybody go purchase these if they want to go purchase them right now?
Well, right now we're here obviously at Arborfest, Cheryl Tree, or VSG as they're called now, but we still call them Cheryl Tree Stuff. Those guys. These boots are all available for purchase through those guys. They're a great partner for us. It's great, and some stores have them in there. If all else fails, just jump online or call our customer service to find a close dealer near you, or you can check us out at Haix.com, and you'll see all kinds of footwear there.
Awesome. Well, there you guys have it. Haix boots, the Protector, right? Or Protector?
Yeah, that's the Protector Ultra.
Protector Ultra.
Yes.
And then you have just a
Protector
Protector.
Prime is the orange.
Oh, man.
And the XR200.
Oh, my gosh. Powerful names.
Yes.
Powerful. But that's Haix boots there for you guys. I have a pair. Love them. I do.
Why don't you spell hikes for them? Because some people are going to misspell it and be looking at the
that's
wrong
very
spot.
good. Yeah. Okay, so this is one last real quick
Okay.
thing. It's really funny. Nobody knows how to say her name. It's spelled Haix, and it's hikes, like you're going hiking. That's the best way to remember it. Otherwise, it's Haix, Haix, Haix. And with my accent too, being from Kentucky, it butchers it a little bit. But it is hikes. Let's go for a
Haix. Haix.
Say everybody take a hike.
Thank you, Bob. That was good.
Thank you,
that's
Bob.
important for people to be able to look up for there. But
That's why we need him.
I know. We
It's
need
great.
Bob for so much.
We
so
all
much.
need a Bob in our
Gosh,
life.
everybody needs Bob. Everybody needs a Bob. But there you guys have it, though. Thank you, Tracy, for breaking these boots down for us, guys. If you want to purchase a pair, try them out. Go online, go get them. Come to ArborFest. You would have got a discount if you came today for that. But we appreciate you being on there and telling us all about the boots. So, guys, if you got something out of this, if you learned something about boots and you're smarter today than you were yesterday, please share it. Post it out there for us. We'd really appreciate that and helping to grow this podcast. But we appreciate everybody listening, and remember to continue to elevate the standard of the industry through safety, training, and innovation. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.